Hey everyone, out for a walk. Thought of something I wanted to share with y'all. So when the last couple years I've touched on leaving Egypt and moving into your promised land, and knowing that story in scripture, that means, obviously Egypt was a form of slavery, bondage, and all that keeps many of us in our own respective ways bonded in bondage and slavery, etc., into different things in our life. And so whenever we leave Egypt, we're leaving our former life of how things were. We cross that sea that the Lord, or the door that the Lord opens for us, and we start heading towards the promised land. Of course, we know through the story that two spies were sent into the promised land, and through that too, we know that in scripture there was a generation that had to walk around the promised land for 40 years to basically die out, so that the old mindset would die, in order for them to enter into the promised land. Now, what is that aspect of people having to die in the wilderness, or being left in the wilderness, in order for us to go into the promised land look like? Obviously, for those who have left Egypt to make their way into the promised land, those who were in your previous life or past season of your life were cut off. Whether the Lord did it, you lost contact, could manifest in multiple different ways. But what about those who went through the sea with you, got to the other side, and are now on the way, but it seems that they can't make their way into the promised land with you because their mindset or things like that aren't changing in order for them to go through with you? What does that look like? Loss of friends, loss of fellowship, or losing people in your fellowship, that kind of thing. Well, that's how it will look like as you continue to walk in your wilderness, however long that looks like, into your promised land. You'll lose friends because they think you're not going according to how the Lord wants, or they'll just drop off. Things in your life will change, and you'll lose things. You'll leave things behind. That's basically how it all goes, because if you put yourself as an allegory into scripture and put yourself into the story like that, you'll see how things play out. You may not understand why things are happening at that time, but once you look at it in that perspective, it'll all make sense. So I hope that helped clarify things. If leave a comment, let me know what stage of the promised land you're in, because promised land can be looked at multiple different ways, going from apartment to house, one job to another job, the promised job. That kind of thing could look at like a multiple different scenarios. So let me know what stage you're at of the different aspects of your life. Y'all take care.
Thank you for taking the time and watching this video. I want to encourage you to like and subscribe to this channel to help boost the ratings, and prayerfully consider supporting this channel. I personally believe that God is rising up the smaller ministries to do a big job in His kingdom, and this is not possible without support from His children, us. If you would, go to my website, www.thegothicmystic.com. There you'll find a variety of videos, my blog, services I offer, and ways to support. Again, thank you for your time.